Hello, hello. Welcome to Dear Dana. I appreciate all of you. Hello, Monica McCall, Arseny Pesico, Gourmet Thursday, Vintage. Everybody in the channel. Hello and welcome, and those in the bushes too. I am so happy to see all of you. Thank you for your advice as well, Arseny. My husband's an IT guy. I'm going to get him to go down and throw down on all of my stuff. Thank God for my malware. It saved my PayPal and my bank account. Hello, Leanne. And I am glad I put out that earlier video so I could warn people easier. That's why I made it sound a little more dramatic, because you know how everybody likes drama. They were quicker to click on it and pay attention. That's what I was hoping for. They'd click on it and pay attention. So they could also be aware if people started messaging them weird stuff. Nobody picked me out because I was special or that they were trying to hurt me personally. They are looking for multiple people because it was someone in my own affiliation with others that they had been hacked first. So anyway, welcome to Dear Dana. We're going to talk about relationships today. Getting rid of the old fairy tales that we all grew up with. Because we know, as beautiful as they are, and we could break them down in a social aspect. Oh, thank you, Arseny. That there are multiple layers to this whole relationship thing. And there's actually a special recipe, so to speak, when you're really looking for a good and healthy connection. And a special recipe that we know of to keep good and healthy connections. Because relationships are work. It's not a throw it in the microwave kind of thing. It's not a quick and easy 4-minute thing. We know that, or we're supposed to know that. We forget that. So before we go further, let's throw the intro down. How about it? And here we go. Let's do this. See if I can do it in order. Hi. And if you wonder why I play around a little with the times, it might be life situations, but a lot of times it's because I am trying to be respectful of my other friend YouTubers that are creators as well, so I don't overlap, because a lot of you visit their channels also. A lot of you do. So I'm trying to be respectful that way too. So we're all trying to work it out. But anyway, talking about relationships. And be that as it may, we see so many times, oh, thank you, Gourmet. I was kidding with my, I don't know if it was my daughter or a friend. I was kidding, not so much kidding, but kidding, that oftentimes the first marriage is a trial run. It's a trial run, a practice marriage. And look, I was kidding, but I was not kidding. Because oftentimes in our society now, that's kind of the truth. We hope it's not. But more often than not these days it is. Because if people marry early, and I'm not saying across the slate this is true, we hope it's not. A lot of times if people marry early in life, We have a tendency to change. If we marry early, we have a tendency to change because we grow and develop as human beings. And who we are in our early 20s or 19s, early 20s, we're the same, but we're not because we hopefully grow and change as human beings and adults into our 30s, right? Our mindsets change. We learn a lot. How we think about things may develop. We become hopefully more open minded, right? What we expect might change. We're not, look, our brains aren't even fully developed until we're maybe 21 to 23 years old. And that's the truth. Monica says, actually, that does make sense. I was way too young, my first marriage, but learned a lot. And we do. We learn a lot in our first marriage. Ooh, my hair looks haggled. We have had rain and storms around here. My hair is not the kind that will stay straight. If it gets straightened, you can straighten my hair instead of laying down. It goes like this. It goes straight. It goes whoop, out in the air. But it's true. We learn a lot in our relationships. And when I got married the first time, even though, I mean, he did have some good qualities, we had some mighty, mighty bad ones. I was not as emotionally mature. In some ways, I was very, very mature. But I was not, insofar as a love way. Hey, Virginia Woolf. Thank you. It looks wild all the time. I was not as emotionally mature insofar as love as I am now. I always was kind of closed off where love was concerned. I don't know that I knew what truly in love was. And I kind of always felt like giving yourself intimately was a big deal. But I feel like, here's the thing too. Most females attach emotions with intimacy. Hey, Marie Crumb. Males, not all males, but I would say most males can cut the physical aspect off from the emotional part. And I'm not saying all males, but I feel like most males can separate the physical act from the emotional aspect unless they make that emotional contact. And then the physical takes on a whole different meaning for them. And then that's when, to me, when the physical and emotional meet with males, they tend to become a little bit, men, correct me if I'm wrong, territorial, for lack of a better word. That's when they get wrapped up and the shift of power occurs. The shift of power occurs. They would probably move the moon and the stars for the female. So it's not, when we grew up watching the fairy tales, I probably saw the fairy tales a little bit differently than a lot of girls did because I didn't see it so much as the prince saving the girl. I saw it somewhere as the princess having some kind of secret power underlying, like a secret underlying power within her, where it sort of weakened the prince to her. Where a lot of females may have seen it like, oh, she got the fancy clothes, she became beautiful, then the prince saved her. I kind of didn't see it that way. I sort of didn't see it that way. I sort of saw it like a secret hidden power. And I feel like maybe I related because of things going on in my upbringing. But that's another story. But things have turned so much in this time and day that women are looking for their own careers and looking to make their own money. And men are out there doing their own thing too. And you hear so often that men are intimidated by women that make more money than them. And oftentimes that can be true. So you kind of have that thing going on out there too. But I feel like the mistake a lot of people make, there's a few things going on out there. They're either looking for the next better thing and age sneaks up on them. But what if I can find something more exciting? Or what if my better partner's out there? And if I get latched down now, I really find my soulmate. What if I'm better off staying single? It's that fear component. And so many people grew up in broken homes or divorced homes or parents that married maybe multiple times, right? So you got that. That weighs on a lot of people growing up now. So they're nervous about relationships or they're looking for, that's another pressure. Maybe their parents married and divorced. They don't want a broken home. So they're wanting that guarantee. If I end up in this relationship, it better be the one because I don't want a divorce. I don't want a divorce. So they're looking for that internal promise. So they stay single longer, possibly. And then you see these relationships where they get married and then they expect it to nurture and nourish itself. Like they figure they don't need to work on it anymore. It's like a plant, they think it's supposed to thrive on its own. You don't water it, you don't feed it, you don't put it in the light. And that doesn't happen. Hey, Rosemary, relationships are like plants. They're like plants. You have to give it some sunlight. You have to give it some water. You have to give it some nourishment. It's not going to thrive on its own. I mean, I've told you about my marriage and how long I've been married. But one thing I haven't told you is, since we lost Noah, Stephen and I have realized, he was sort of like the hub of our family. No lie, this kid was like an earthbound angel. And his love like radiated out to all of us, Eden included. And Eden is our daughter, and we love and adore her. And she is like a different kind of hub as well, but she has a lot of life and friends to do things with. And now she is legally an adult. And Stephen and I are in a place that we realize we have to nourish and do things to our relationship. And we realize it has changed. And we need to do things to work on it. Not that it's bad, it's changed. And relationships go through different chapters. And you have to nurse them again and again and again. And some people would go like, oh, it doesn't feel the same, or it's not the same as it was. Of course it's not going to be. It goes through different chapters. It's not going to feel the same as it did when you were horny 20-year-olds. Why would it? Would you expect that when you're 80? So, what do you do to keep it connected and emotionally charged? This is why people have to nourish it from the core up. The people that think they have to go after the horniness all the time, hey, Susan, are not saying that physical is not important, but it is not the most important. You have to go from the core up. The core up. And people tend to forget this. And the people that just go for the physical passion are the ones that end up the loneliest in the end. That's the truth. Just like spirituality has all of these deep core layers that make you feel all of these things that are exponentially difficult to explain unless you get there. It's the same with relationships. And I'm not just talking about romantic, I'm talking about friendships, family, the whole shigilla. Hey, one choice at a time with Michael. But we make everything complicated because we have ended up in a world where everything's quick and easy and fast and falling in our lap or at a drive-through. We watch things on television. We don't want to put in the effort, right? I want to know some of your thoughts, or how things have felt complicated, or the walls you've hit. I don't want to just sit here and talk to myself. Our world has made things sometimes feel like an empty jar. Back in the day, everybody got married, and they stayed married for life. And that was complicated too, because if they did things, they talked about it under the covers, or people whispered about, oh, I hear Mary and Joe are having a difficult time, or Joe's cheating on Mary and she's acting like it's not happening, or so-and-so's getting divorced. Or you just didn't talk about it. But that's not the way to live life either. We can have what we need in relationships. We just need to know how to fix it, how to work on it, or how to look for it. And the main key is it's an emotional key. It's the emotional thing we have to look for. And people don't communicate about what they really want or what's really bothering them. They want to bicker about other things or ride around the circle. Virginia says part of it is good timing. It's weird that if you meet the right person, but the timing isn't good, you go your separate ways. But if it seems like lack of timing, that's true. That's true. But what's the word I'm looking for? Serendipity. I have a feeling serendipity has a lot to do with it because timing is everything, but sometimes serendipity or the universe has a weird way where they bring them back into your life. They tend to bring them back into your life somehow. Timing is a weird thing. I can remember in high school, a guy wrote in my book, he said, when I wanted to be with you, you were dating someone. And when you were free, I was dating someone. And ultimately, we ended up dating, and it probably could have gone somewhere, but I don't think I would have ended up with him ultimately. If I had stayed in the state I was living in, there's someone I probably would have ended up marrying. But in my soul of souls, my family was moving and it would have been a gamble for me to stay. Timing is weird sometimes, but I still believe everything happens for a reason. I still believe everything happens for a reason sometimes. Because, like my son, for instance, even though that marriage was bad, 100% I believe I was supposed to have him. And it aligned everything that has occurred in my life and all the gifts that occurred and things I've learned and gifts that have opened. And I can't see things backing up. Rosemary says, I've hit too many walls and we'd be here all night. I feel like there are more walls than open space, but I'm still hopeful. But by the same token, if you feel like there are walls, we have to look at what lessons are we needing to learn to knock down the wall. And are you putting up the wall? Who's putting up the wall? Sometimes we have to ask ourselves that. Are you putting up the wall? Is it you putting up the wall? Every day, again, I step back and analyze things in my life or have to look at self-improvement or really taking an objective look at things in my life. Okay, am I putting up this block or what's creating this block? How can I get past things? I'm putting up the wall because when I don't, then I get hurt. But when you put up the wall, you also don't give yourself opportunities, Rosemary. And maybe you get hurt because you're knocking on the wrong doors. Do you understand what I'm saying? Maybe you get hurt because you're knocking on the wrong doors. Emotionally connecting it's just a different kind of thing. Susan R. says, after multiple failed marriages, being single allowed me to find me. The most important relationship in my life, besides my kids, is with myself. 100% Susan R. With yourself is the most important relationship. Susan says, I've been single for 19 years. If my true match is out there, meeting him in my 70s is good for me. Woo! I agree with that one. That's always been my problem. Yes, you are probably right. You have to look, when I got divorced the first time, even when I got the legal separation so I could be by myself, I'm going to drop the link in case anybody, y'all need to remind me. If anybody ever wants to come up, you are more than welcome, even if you want to use your avatar and cover your face because you're nervous. It's perfectly fine. Okay? Perfectly fine. When I got a legal separation to make sure he wasn't going to come in the house and live with me again because he did not want a divorce. Everything in my soul, even though I was afraid to be by myself out in the country with my special needs son, because it's scary when your child has medical problems and he's very rare. I did not want him back in that house. I had never felt so free. But I got to know myself better than I ever had in my life. Hold on. I got to know myself better. I found out my strengths. I learned so much about myself. Even when there was a crisis with my son, I learned what I could overcome, what I could handle, what I could handle when things were broken around the house. When I would do therapy with people at the Institute, I'd take my son with me. I learned I didn't have to have him there. I could handle it when he was chaotic. It was a blessing, blessing, blessing. I did not feel like I had to have a partner, period. And I had come to the conclusion if I never married again, I would be fine. Hey, Black Lavender, so happy to see you here. So happy to see you here. Black Lavender, I know y'all don't know this. He's got a voice as smooth as silk. Sorry, Black Lavender, I just had to say it. I haven't heard your voice in a long time. But be that as it may, we have to find strength within ourselves and learn to look ourselves in the mirror and love ourselves. Because I'm going to go back to resonating higher. Appreciate the good qualities within yourself. The qualities that you don't like. And I'm not talking about, ooh, thank you, Black Lavender. Oh, I don't like the fact my eyes are green or blue or brown or purple or whatever. Love to love your eye color. Love to love your hair color. Love to love the body you're in because it's a vessel that's carrying you around. If you don't like the fact you're too thin, eat a little bit more. If you can't get heavier, love to love the body you're in. If you don't like the fact that you have some curves, love those curves anyway. Love them anyway. Your body's carrying you around. Just eat a little healthier, put on some music and dance, but love your body anyway. But if you don't love the fact you've made some mistakes, forgive yourself. If you want to improve your mind, take a class. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just work on yourself. Otherwise, but love who you are and look at yourself and just work on doing the next right thing and improving things you see about yourself. Just resonate higher. Work on resonating higher. Doing the next right thing, resonating higher. Being kind. Loving yourself. When you resonate higher, it brings in people that resonate higher into your life. Do you understand? And they resonate on the same level that you do. And therefore, you will click. You will click. And you won't be running into heartbreak after heartbreak. You will connect with people. Let's say that you love dogs and you go to a class, or let's say you love art, right? And you go to an art class. You already have something in common with the person you're in class with. You already have something in common with somebody. So you're encountering people with commonalities. The mistake a lot of people make is women try to go after the bad boys. If you're going after the bad boys, look, it's already got bad in front of it. You already got bad in front of it. That's your first clue right there. That is your first clue right there. Bad. Red flag, bad. It doesn't take a mental genius to tell you you're going after bad boys. The first red flag is bad. Do you see what I'm saying? But if you are in circles of people that have the same common interest as you, whether you're looking for a friend or a love interest, chances are you're going to be connecting at an emotional level with the same as you. Hey there, Motor City nerds. Thank you for stopping by, sweetheart. And as I've said before, please go check out her channel, Motor City Nerds. And she often has her mom on there. Her mom is a sweetheart. She doesn't care. She doesn't care if her daughter films her and asks her opinion at any given time, which I think is precious. So please go check her out. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, thank you, Black Lavender. You know, from day one, I've always adored you. Thank you, Black Lavender. I appreciate that. I forget to say that. Like, share, and subscribe. Yes, please subscribe, even in the bushes. Look, we're almost where we can get a community page. And when we hit 1,000, we can get monetized and get other bells and whistles. And look, I'm not trying to get rich, but when we hit 1,000, I don't have to pay all the things to keep this page up, which helps me. Because right now I have to pay all the bills to keep this page up. I have to pay. Yeah, I do sound. I sound a little hoarse. All of this pollen is making me sound scratchy. But anyway, back to relationships. We want, in the end, it's our nature. We want that loyal, loving, got our back, true blue relationship. I do believe that. Yes, we are sexual, passionate beings. But let's be for real, for real, for real. The excitement, it's okay, Willow, of finding lust with somebody, that's a temporary thing. That's a temporary drive. You can only crank that thing up. That sounds so bad. That sounds so bad. I guess you could get machinery when you're 80 years old. You could go to the doctor and they've got help for that too, but you could only crank that excitement up so long until you're looking for the emotional thing, that emotional connection, that feeling within that you know somebody really cares about you, right? Because it doesn't last that long. It doesn't last that long. What do we really, really want? I mean, even friendships, we want that ride or die. We want that person that trusts, that we know we can trust. I've got friends that I don't see every day. I've got friends that I've had for 20 or 30 years or more that I might not talk to on the phone or chat with, but two, three times a year. But I promise you, when we talk, we can talk right where we left off like no time has passed. Or they might come drive out and see me once a year, twice a year, right? And it's like zero time has passed. You let something critical happen in my life, like when my child passed, they are here. Johnny on the spot. Johnny on the spot. That's a friend. That is a friend. I've known them that long. Paranormal said, I would talk to a guy that says you are not my type, or the guy, let's be friends or I'm wasting my time, honestly. Yeah. Are the people, or you're kind of dating them and they put you in the friend zone? How many get put in the friend zone quickly? Or let's say you've gone on a date. I don't know how many are single. And immediately the first date, you know they're not your type. Do you give them one more time, one more try, or do you move on? Do you give them one more try and chalk the first date up as nervousness, or do you move on? Paranormal, are you saying that you get put in the friends on the first date? And is that date in person? Okay, let me ask you this. Do you consider when you chat them up online a date? Two chances, I would think you should give them two chances. At least two. And you consider online a date paranormal. So, yeah. See, I don't know about the online rules anymore, if that's considered a date. And how about the guys? Or have you ditched out? I want to know what you think. And what are your thoughts on relationship? What are the guys looking for in relationships? How much, and if you're married currently, how much do you currently nurture your relationships? Or do you let it kind of just roll with it? It's important even when you're married. I don't know how often you plan it, but it's important to go out on dates. I don't care how long you've been married. It's important to go out on dates. Change it up. You don't have to spend the money. You can do something free, even if it's a picnic, or just go somewhere where the environment looks different. Go somewhere to a park, turn the music on. I know you probably don't want to dance outdoors. A lot of men don't like to dance. Some men don't care. And it doesn't have to be female and male. It can be male and male, female and female. But people are not investing enough time in their relationships. Picnic is nice for marriage. Picnic is nice for people that aren't married. Look, if you have looked at the latest economics, everything has gone up easily 33 to 35%. It is going to get to the point we're going to have to be more economical about how we choose to decide to do things for dates and going out. It's just the truth. Unless you are in that 1% or 1%, unless you are made of a lot of money, we're going to have to be very clever with our relationships and dating. We're going to have to get very clever. Learn how to do fun things that don't cost a lot of money. Or save our money and not waste a lot of money like we have been wasting it. Not fast food all the time. Right? We have wasted a lot of money in the past. I am sure we will not be wasting a lot of money here in the future. Not to get down and blue. Monica says, my husband and I do a daily check-in with each other, but we haven't done a date night in a long time. A daily check-in is perfect. Whoa, you are right, Marie Crum. What cost $46 last month was way over $100 today, especially gas. But date night, Monica, is a very good way to reconnect with each other. I don't care if it's to drive to a park and go walking, sit and feed the ducks, do something to get out of your environment and just move your energy around. Do something out of your norm. Plan to do something out of your norm, especially now. I don't that the days are longer. I hear in a couple of years we're not going to have daylight savings time anymore. Hopefully they'll do it in a way where the days are longer all the time. But now that the days are longer, take advantage of it and have, even if it's once a month, possibly once a week, have a periodic date night. And just do something to get you out of your element. Marie Crum said, my husband and I still go out on date nights. We might just go for a walk in the mall as a date. Perfect. Some people just go get an ice cream and take a walk. I think that's perfect, Marie. Doesn't it help, Marie, just to connect and get out of the house and be together? Good, Monica. Good. You know, when I was talking about it takes us individually to start resonating higher and reconnecting with each other. Good. I love to hear that. Well, that's perfect, paranormal. But even if you have a date night with yourself, it's an excellent way now that, things aren't as bad, to get out and connect with other people. Just to smile at a stranger. You never know who you'll bump into or meet, for that matter. Be in a safe place. But it not only helps us feel better, helps us reconnect with someone we're with. Have a date night with a friend. Helps us engage, helps us resonate higher. It's like turn the tails on things. It changes the energy up, not just for ourselves, but with those we encounter. Miss Leanne says, been married 27 years now. Our date night was sitting on the porch watching the sunset. Love that. You can watch the sunset, have a cup of coffee. If someone plays a guitar and plays music, love that too. It is the simple things. Simple things. Now, see how different that is from fairy tales? It is all about connection. It's about connection, emotional connection that feeds your spirit. It gives a sense of comfort in a lot of ways. And peace, it ticks a lot of boxes. Yeah, it does sound romantic. All these things tick a lot of boxes. And it lowers your cortisol and your blood pressure when you're able to connect with, in a relationship, whether it is with a partner, a friend, a family member, a pet for that matter. We need these relationships. We need these relationships. Too many people are looking for drama and excitement and passion and this and that. They watch too many shows on television that want to get you amped up all the time and keep your cortisol flowing and these hormones going, right? And they're good to a certain degree, but they come back down. And our hearts and our emotions need this stability, this soft place to land, this comfort, this thing called real love. Look, paranormal Willow, there is romance in emotional love. There's romance in emotional love and connection. You have been in the process of healing and learning about yourself and finding yourself. And when all these pieces come into place, remember me telling you that? When all of these pieces come into place, you shall find what you need. We have to learn about ourselves and not throw up walls and not look for the the bad boys and the bad girls and the Korean romantic shows. We have to seek emotional food. Emotional food. That's where the success of it is. When you realize what your own worth is and your own value is, and you work towards loving yourself and know that you're working toward getting certain things in your life. Me too, Monica. And what your own value is and know what is coming towards you, right? then you release that sadness because you're trying to control certain things. When you release and trust, then the sadness isn't there so much. Do you understand? When you release and trust. I never wanted someone in my life that was attracted to me just because they physically wanted to be intimate with me or they just liked the way I looked. Because that was not going to last. That is a relationship that would never last. Because I was going to get older and I was going to change, and that wouldn't last. That's why you see so many of these older men that have a lot of money go through women like water. Because they can. When the woman starts losing her looks and stuff, they're on to the next. They go through women like water. They want to keep them young and beautiful, regardless of the fact they're getting older and dumpier. There's no value in that kind of relationship. You want something that has depth. I watched my grandfather look at my grandmother with the eyes that he saw her with when she was young. That's what you want. Someone that sees the beauty of you from your soul. And that's what you get when you connect emotionally. Yes, they are. Hallmark movies are great, unless they're way too cheesy. Unless they're way too cheesy. And guess what? Most of the Hallmark movies are getting made a stone's throw from me. Very close to my home. Very close to my house. Wouldn't it be funny if I was in a Hallmark movie? They'd never have me. Y'all would laugh so hard if I was in a Hallmark movie. They probably wouldn't understand a thing I said. But they, it literally is like right near me. Um, a few of the roads, they have, I mean, it is, it's called Helen, Georgia, and Dahlonega. They keep the storefronts out there like that 24/7. Helen, Georgia looks like a small German town all the time, but the stores out there look like Christmas town all of the time. All of the time. Oh, thank y'all. But it looks like Christmas town pretty much all of the time. It's beautiful. Oh, thank you, Tess Ish. I sure appreciate you being here, Tess Ish. Well, it's an honor. Thank you very much. A gaming thing. My daughter does some gaming. Good luck. But if you get a chance, look up Helen, Georgia. Um, Gosh, what's his name? I know his name. He plays Medea. He has a house close to here too. Thank you so very kindly. But he has this whole film studio out here. I know his name. I can't even think. It's driving me crazy. But he doesn't do the Hallmark movies. But he does have his whole studio out here. Atlanta is becoming the new Hollywood. But they're always asking for extras at the Hallmark movies. But during Christmas, it is so beautiful. Yeah, Tyler Perry has his studio out here. Maybe when they start doing their new Christmas movies, I'll go be an extra out there. When you see them where they look like they're driving around the mountains and all of that other stuff, yeah, that's here. And the Joe Billionaire. Did anybody watch Joe Billionaire? I didn't watch it. I caught clips on YouTube, but it was here, here. But anyway, I think that it's really important. Our children, our grandchildren. I don't have any grandchildren. How do you know if a guy or girl is the one? What do you mean exactly, Willow? The one you want to have a relationship with? We need to teach our children the truth about what a real relationship is. I don't care if they like guys or girls or whatever, but the heart of what a real relationship is. As a relationship with. Well, you have to decide, um, do you know if you're bisexual or a lesbian or heterosexual? That part's up to you. It's about who you're attracted to, paranormal. I mean, it's about what your soul and your emotions are attracted to. I don't know that that really matters. It's about who your emotions are attracted to, your heart and your emotions are attracted to. That's only you can answer that. Do you understand what I mean? That is a part of who you are, one way or another. That is born within you. So I can't really answer that. Yeah. You have to feel it in your heart and your gut. I mean, it's like me being born and knowing I like guys. I just know I like guys. Or me being born and having this color eyes. You understand what I'm saying? You just are born that way. You just know that you know that you know. Does that answer your question? I don't feel like it's a choice. But back to teaching our children. I feel like they are being, yeah, I feel like they're being taught the wrong things. Meaning, they're being taught the wrong things about relationships. I feel like they're being taught they're disposable. Like, disposable in that, well, this doesn't feel right. You're gone, or you're not doing what I want. You're gone. They should be taught that you're valued as a human being. You should be respected as a human being. Hey, shoeless one. Goodbye-ing. They should be taught you should be respected. You should be accounted for. That kind of thing. But they shouldn't be treating people as disposable goods. Am I making any sense? Goodbye. Good morning, fam. Good morning. Good afternoon. We're teaching the kids the wrong things. They're viewing the wrong things on television. Hey, Steve. Steve, come on. Can you help me out? Virginia Woolf is saying yes. Kids will dump people for the strangest things. Exactly, Leanne. Real life's not that. They're not getting the morals and values about relationships. They see people go to the greener grass, next thing, all of the time. And they're not trying to establish and build relationships based on the human being. It's about who's got money, who's got the car, and there's so much bullying. Yes, they're learning divorce is the easy way out. Or this parent's having an affair. Or both parents are having an affair. Or these parents just got tired of each other. I hear so often that, well, we just fell out of love. Let me tell you a really simple thing. The feeling of being in love in all relationships, that feeling of being in love is temporary in all relationships. It only lasts the first few months of a relationship. It's a chemical reaction. It only lasts the first few months of relationships. And then love begins. Once the relationship is really established. Love begins. You will have bursts and moments of that chemical feeling of in love. Maybe when you're having sex. Maybe when you see them do something that gives you that twinge and that remembrance of why you fell in love with them in the first place. You will have bursts of it that will peak and valley throughout the relationship. But that feeling of, oh, I'm in love and I have to spend all this time with you and we're just like this all the time. It only lasts for a few months. And then it settles down. It settles down. And that's why you're able to get on each other's nerves and nitpick and all that stuff and then come back together and have fun and do all this stuff. That is 100% the truth. So that BS of, well, I'm just not in love with you anymore is BS. And don't let anybody tell you anything different. The rest of it is you love each other, you're in a relationship, and hopefully you have that emotional bond to get you through. I have never heard anything more stupid in my whole life than somebody going, well, I'm just not in love with you anymore. Shut the hell up and do what you're supposed to do and work on your marriage. Otherwise, that needs to go away, and let's look to see if it's just irrevocable. I just can't talk today. Irrevocably broken. Which is it irrevocably broken? Which maybe it is. Here's the truth. In a relationship, there should be 4 to 5 more positive things about the relationship to every one negative thing. You should be able to say 4 or 5 more positive, kind things to each other for every negative thing that you say to each other. That is the formula for a healthy relationship. If it is the flippity flop, I don't care if you say it out loud or not, then odds are your relationship is in vast trouble. And that could go for a friendship as well. So when you look at the core of it, there is the formula, and that's when you need to look at the truth of the matter. Hey, Busy Blues, number 2 fan. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you. Now, if you are in jeopardy, physical harm, psychological harm, or the marriage just feels completely dead and you're completely disconnected, that's when it's time to look at everything else if it's not mendable. But we just have to get real reality. I would like to have a Disney show or a cartoon that shows the reality of relationships. You know what I mean? Or the reality of dating. Every teenage show I watch, every teenage movie I watch, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but you see them go straight to getting it on down. It shows them straight to the boy trying to get in her pants, or he and she trying to get it on, get it on, get it on. Let me see real conversations and relationships going on. Not just that. Not just that. I know there is more depth to some of the teenagers out there, please. There is more depth. They are all not just about that. There is more depth. And if there is not more depth than that, parents are doing something wrong. That's the truth. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not stupid. I was a teenager. Now, right, wrong, or indifferent, I was still a virgin while I was a teenager. Well, at least while I was in high school. But I know it goes on in high school. I'm not stupid, but that is not all teenagers are made up of. It's not. We have to teach them differently. We have to teach us differently about the depth of relationships. Let's be real. Beyond that, we want more. We want more in our relationships. Virginia Hall says, I think much of relationships is about respect. If you meet someone that is a respectful type, that's a good sign. Yes, it is. And it does not mean that you don't want to get it on down or get a little freaky in the bedroom. It doesn't mean that. But there's a time and place. Time and place. Right? Passion in one place and respect in another. With a lot of heart and emotional connection. Emotional connection is always, always, always number one. If you get that from somebody first, that relationship is going to win. Build the emotional connection first. And I promise you, that relationship is there for the long haul. If you jump into everything else first, you're going to be on the struggle bus. Build the other first. I was the type, I made guys fight, not each other. I made them work. I wanted the emotional connection. Yes, Leanne, you are absolutely right. Perfect. Perfectly said. As you said earlier, many young girls think lust means love, and it does not. They think lust means love, and that is the ticket. That is the ticket to get the guy they want. And it absolutely is not. Not the ticket. Half the time, that's the ticket to get their heart broken. Paranormal says, I will give 3 months to get to know them, to give me time to decide to keep dating them or not. You're talking about online? And you have to have certain standards too. Because, yeah, you could say that actually. Rosemary, probably. Yeah. So to speak, because in high school, if they were pressuring me to do anything, I would be like, see ya. And as an adult, especially when I got divorced and I had Noah, um, I had certain standards and I was scared. So I put him through the ringer. I absolutely did. I put him through the ringer. 100%. Because I'd been through hell in a handbasket. I was not going through that again. So I put them through the ringer. Sorry, not sorry. Sometimes you have to set certain standards because you don't want to go through certain things in your life. And you have to have certain non negotiables that you will not overstep or deviate from in your life. Like if, let's say, your spirituality is important to you, not going to give it up, right? Not going to give it up. If education is important to you, if you feel like they should be educated, is that important to you or not? Should they have a decent job? Is that important to you or not? Should they be a good human being and not a bad boy? Is that important to you or not? Should you see that they're loving and kind to other people? Is that important to you or not? Are they good to your children? Important to you or not? Are they good to their family? There are certain things that you should be able to observe that are non negotiables. You understand what I'm saying? That you should be able to observe with your eyes. Oh, that is so good, Monica. She says, I put my husband through the ringer and he surprised me and stuck around. That's when I knew he genuinely loved me. Oh, yeah, Rosemary. You always have to, if you have kids, they have to come first, period. I would never put a relationship before my child. Never, never, never. Never. Virginia Woolf, that movie How to Lose a Guy was almost like me. That's why I laugh at it. It almost felt like me, how to lose a guy. I'm getting a little. Does somebody have an issue with their car this week? Somebody had an issue with their car this week. Did someone have an issue with their car this week? It almost feels like it had to do with. I keep seeing somewhere around their front tire. I don't know. I keep seeing something about their car and somewhere around their front tire. Someone let me know. You can put it in the comments. If it's not in the chat and someone's watching in the bushes, let me know. Just keep seeing something about someone's car, and I'm seeing it parked. Some little issue. It doesn't feel like a big issue. Something about someone's car um, just popped up in my head while we were talking. Don't know what is that about. Somebody having issues with a car? Hmm. Okay, maybe it's yours. Ooh. Good. I'm glad you're in the water. Somebody is making steady progress. They had someone in the chat wishes one of his trucks. What is the issue on his truck? Rosemary. It's not an axle, right? Someone's making steady progress on God. What is it I want to say? It's almost a God, what is it? It was something that was assigned to him. It was a special. Oh my God, what is it? It's not a challenge that was assigned to him. A project. Someone was assigned a project. It was like a special project. And I feel like they were really stressed out about it because it's sort of important. Hello, Patch the Sinclair. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your message last week. Because in all honesty, I was sitting there thinking, what am I really doing here on YouTube? Should I really be doing this? Should I really be continuing to do this? And you wrote me that note, and it felt like a sign to me. So thank you, Patch, for that. Back to that message I was getting, that angel message for someone was assigned a special project that they were feeling stressed and nervous about. I don't know who this message is for. It could be someone in the bushes that wants to send me a comment if it's for you. It feels like they were assigned this project at work, possibly, but they're making steady progress. It's some kind of assigned project. or a project that maybe they were hesitant to take on, and you're making steady progress, is going in the right direction, it is going to be successful. Do not worry about it. All signs are go and green. It looks great. I just see success for it. Maybe for gourmet. I don't know. Maybe for gourmet. I don't know. Maybe for gourmet. So somebody let me know. Weird feeling, weird feeling. And I'm sorry just to deviate, but, and I'm also getting the feeling, hey, Blobby. Me get rowdy. Yeah, if I didn't put that up there, nobody'd be listening, right? I couldn't get the message across. Um, this is just the weirdest feeling, and I don't know who is going to approach me about it. There's somebody that is on the other side that passed away before they were supposed to, before they were supposed to. And their name starts with a J, and I feel like it's a male, and I don't feel like it's a grandfather. I don't feel like it's a grandfather. I mean, I almost want to say Jeffrey. I almost want to say Jeffrey John, but it feels more like Jeffrey. Does anybody know anyone with that name? He passed away early. I'm guessing no. No one is answering. I mean, he was a partier, but I don't think he died of overdose. Hello, April Showers. How are you? Okay. Monica, can I ask you, was he a partier in that he self medicated? He did not, was he a partier that he self, was he a partier? Someone you and I know? Rosemary? Okay. And you and I know him. That's him. That's him. Okay. That's why he's coming through. That's why he's coming through. Ugh. Okay. Because I'm feeling it heavy now. Okay. We'll talk later, Rosemary, okay? Because now I'm getting sad and about to cry. Because I feel it and I know it's him now. Okay? You know, it's not him, Monica. It belongs to Rosemary. It belongs to him. It's Jeffrey. It's Jeffrey. It's who I said it was at first, and he was young. It's him because I can feel him now. The project, I'm not sure who is yet. Blavy, you're you're gonna get some weird blessing in disguise. It's not gonna seem like it at first, and you're gonna be like, "What? Why is this happening?" Blah blah blah. But it is going to ultimately be a blessing in disguise. And you're gonna be, "Oh, now I understand. Good. I'm glad this is happening now." It's gonna be like, what? But you're gonna be like, "Oh, now I understand. Cool." I know, but I'm just saying, Rosemary, it's all pieced together. Oh, thank you so much, April Showers. And is your show called April Showers? Because you're new to me. So I would say go check out April Showers channel. Thank you very much. I'm getting pain in my head right now, even thinking about um, Jeffrey's friend. Like pain in my head, like right here. We'll have to talk about it. But if I don't know if she's still around, I may have to tell her later. But yeah, she's going to. Flavi's going to get a blessing in disguise. Some of these angel messages just start popping out of the blue when I'm talking about something else. Thank you. Hey, Shannon Van. These messages start just doing their own thing. I'll be talking about one thing and they just decide they're going to come on their own. If you have not subscribed to Shannon Van, please do, because if she hasn't already hit 1,000, which I hope she has, she's this close to 1,000 subscribers. And if you guys don't already know, it helps us so much because we don't already get our extra bells and whistles on YouTube, which is so helpful. But it also helps our channels pay for themselves, so we no longer have to pay for them because we do. And she is wonderful and entertaining and lovely and genuine and authentic and has integrity, which means everything to me. It does. It means everything to me. So please subscribe to Shannon Van. But as for newbie doobie, April showers. A message that you are getting that's important is you have been going in a lot of directions and you're being asked to ground yourself. Just ground yourself a little bit and breathe is what I'm being made to feel for you. I don't know you, but they're asking me to ask you to ground yourself and breathe. Do some conscious breathing. Just center for a little bit because I feel a pulling of many directions for you. And I don't even know you. But I'm a conduit. I'm just a messenger. So if you will do that, that would be great. I appreciate everyone that comes here so much. And I appreciate you listening to me babble about relationships. And Shannon Van's relationship with her son, that is a message that's coming through is, I know he's going into that teenage place, but I'm feeling like your relationship is, you're handling it so well, Miss Shan. I feel like you're just handling it in a really great place. You handle it with truth, like throwing a baseball out to him. It's what I'm being made to feel. You just handle it with truth and love. Sort of exactly what he needs. So kudos to you. Just the right kind of mom for your son. But I hope all of you got something out of this relationship discussion. You know how it goes with me. I get on here and I have no sense of time. It's like time, it feels like an hour and it turns into 2 hours. Does anybody have any question for me or comments about anything before we start wrapping up? Anything. I'm open to the question or the challenge. Anybody have anything for me? I appreciate all of you and your commentaries and your intelligent thoughts. Thank you, Leanne. I just would like to see the dialogue change on our social media, on our televisions, some of our movies. We're just putting out back-ass words, back-ass words, things for everybody to see. We need some real stuff. Hallmark's almost got it right. They are going for emotional connections, a little heavy on the romance, but more emotional connection is what the kids need to see, what we need to see and feel. We need to take time for ourselves and plug into the emotion. When we feel that emotion well up, it gives us something. It makes us resonate like tenfold, sort of. It can help us charge through a lot of things in our life, right? Let's see what Arseny says. My son walks on his tiptoes a lot. Do we have to get him help, or will he grow out of it? Arseny, how old is he? How old is your son? Tell me how old he is. If he's 20, he needs help. He's 10 and he walks on his tiptoes a lot. If it's more often than not, hmm, have you talked to his doctor? I mean, I might try to see if I could get him a weighted vest to see if you could kind of change that balance because I feel like it's how he carries his body through space. He runs on his toes. I feel like it's how his brain reacts to his body through space. Look on eBay or somewhere and see if you could get him a weighted vest. It is a sensory issue. 100% it's a sensory issue. I would look on my suggestion only. I would look on eBay or a sensory magazine or somewhere like that and look into getting him a weighted vest to help the sensory in his brain feel that sense of the weighted vest, which might hopefully pull the back of his heels down, help his brain sense the weight. That's what I would do. And you may be able to find one with pockets that you could put more weight in the back of it. You just have to do little tricks to help his brain mobilize a certain way. It is definitely a sensory thing. You know, us parents have to do tricks. We have to do things to try to play with their sense in space. That's all. I wouldn't worry too much, but I would definitely try to play with it yourself because it's just the way his brain feels with his body in space. And I would just play with it more simply because you don't want him sort of tripping up. I mean, thus far he's done well, but you know what I'm saying. But anyway, anyone else that has any comments or suggestions for future discussions, please put them in the comments below. I love hearing what you have to say. I'm going to drop, I created an email that's only for this channel. It will only have your emails for this channel, and it will be deardana1111 at gmail.com. We'll make it real simple. deardana1111 at gmail.com, just like my new Instagram. Oh, I completely agree with you, Pat Sinclair. 100%. I'm bad about it. Sometimes I run on my toes. It can be faster. That's a good idea too, Monica. Doing leg massages and foot massages and pushing the front of his foot up and back, doing sensory with his feet. And pressing on the back of his heel. Yeah, I bet he is, Arsene. I bet he is fast. I bet he is fast, fast. But anyway, everyone, I wish you a beautiful, beautiful rest of your week. Yeah. Look, I would even take him to a professional masseuse for a real appointment sometime if he can tolerate it. I would. But anyway, on that note, thank you all for coming to the channel tonight. I love and appreciate you all. If you would like to buy me a coffee, you can do so at miracles3@charter.net. That's my PayPal. And I will see everybody Saturday night. Please drop your comments or your suggestions under the video when it stops. I love hearing from all of you, and I will see you all on Saturday night. I don't know what the topic is yet, but I love and appreciate you all. And remember, your vibe attracts your tribe. Take it easy, everyone. Until Saturday night. Bye-bye. And here we go. Bum, bum, ba-da. I've got to find it.